Okay, so I believe it's saying we're just going live, even though I've been talking for a few minutes. So let me know if you've been listening for the past couple minutes or if my software is just being a little bit crazy. But to sum it up, just got back from the Monroe Institute. So excited. It totally relates to what we're going to be talking about today with Lionsgate. This has been such a transformative time for me, and I would love to hear from you guys how you've been feeling recently. How have your dreams been? Have your manifestations been feeling easier? Has some stuff been coming up that's ready to shift? Because that is part of the manifestation formula. You know, we need to make room for what is coming in. So pay attention to what is kind of being released. Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. So it looks like just went live on YouTube, been talking for a few minutes. I guess there was a little delay in my software, but I just got back from the Monroe Institute, which a lot of you guys know what the Monroe Institute is, but it was basically founded by Robert Monroe, the pioneer of out-of-body experiences, and Monroe studies and researches altered states of consciousness like lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, and even into like remote viewing and tons of cool stuff. They even have classes on like spoon bending. Like, this is the place to expand your mind and to tap into your like intuitive abilities. And I just got back from a week-long retreat at the Monroe Institute that I was invited to. And this has been my biggest manifestation ever, is to go to the Monroe Institute. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, because it came in so easily. And that's what manifestation is all about, is the identity. That's the secret. You don't have to pay attention to all of these different like journaling techniques and like say this 5 times every day for like a lot of that. All it's trying to do is help get you on the frequency into the identity of the version of yourself who is experiencing your manifestations in the now. Time does not exist, guys. And so if you remember that, you can collapse time in your consciousness and experience your manifestations, experience the reality that you want to experience so much more quickly without resistance. I have learned so much of the Monroe Institute that has completely expanded my mind. Of course, there's some stuff that I was already familiar with that I learned there, but I was able to explore and tap into abilities that I haven't really used. We talked so much about time and paradoxes and remote viewing and how to develop all these incredible like intuitive abilities. And I am just so excited I'm going to share a little bit about my experience after we go through this little Lionsgate activation that I'm going to do with you guys. So stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have been to the Monroe Institute, if you follow their work. If you guys are interested in taking some of their classes, I do have a 10% off coupon code for you guys that you can use. The Gateway Voyage, the course that I did in person, they also have an online version of. So, and they have tons and tons and tons of cool classes. So if that resonates with you guys, let me know and I'll drop the link in the chat. We're going to talk again a little bit more about Monroe near the end of this live stream, or at least after our main Lionsgate chat. Let me catch up with everybody here. What's up, Tiffany? Adrian, what's up? Skip, how's it going? Contra Cultura, what's up? Mike, welcome to the community. Good to have you. From Brazil, that's so awesome. My dreams have been really telling me to pay attention lately. Interesting. Yeah, my dreams have been insane. I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Like, seriously, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about it when I talk about Monroe, because it really relates to that. I've been getting some, like, even last night was probably the most vivid dream I've like ever had. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's so cool. I can't wait to share with you guys. So pay attention to your dreams right now, because there's going to be stuff shown to us in our dreams right now that's either stuff that we're ready to release, or it's going to be showing you kind of how to shift your perspective to tap into the reality that you want to live. Because even though we can tap into this portal energy any time of the year, like literally because time doesn't exist, time and space does not exist, so we can tap into this energy at any time. There's certain energetic factors right now that are making the collective energy for this portal more powerful, especially because there's so much energy and focus and awareness on it right now from like everybody everywhere. And the numerology within this portal is more potent than previous Lions Gates, and I'm going to explain why as well. It's known as like a 888 gateway, which is So cool. I can definitely feel it. I don't know about you guys. I would love to hear how you've been feeling recently, what kind of dreams you've been having, if you've been feeling activated. Are you sleeping well? Like, what's coming up for you guys? That's exactly what Sammy Ingram was talking about. She did a video about identity and identifying as an instant manifest. Exactly. That is the key. You got to get out of your own way. The mind is meant to help you survive, and it grounds you in this physical reality. But when you start playing in other realities outside of this one, you realize you can collapse time and just assume the reality that you want now. Like if you feel like, oh, I'm struggling, I'm not ready for my manifestations, I haven't learned enough, you can literally just decide in the moment that you've learned enough and that you're ready and that you are that person. Like that's how time works. You can collapse it at any time. You don't need to like suffer for your past mistakes, by the way. Like sometimes we think we have like all this like karmic undoing to do. Like, oh, I used to not be a good person, or oh, I didn't get into like this type of stuff until recently, so I have a lot of work to do before I deserve my manifestations or before I'm worthy of the life I desire. You can drop all that shit now and just decide and just assume and put yourself into that identity. That's how this all works. And the sooner we realize that, the faster we're going to feel amazing in the now. Like you don't need to wait to feel good. Okay? You don't need to wait to feel good. You deserve it. Even being here right now, being alive on this planet, like what are the odds that we are all alive right now on this planet? There is no other planet that we've found that is as rich and as nourishing and as abundant as Earth, and somehow we all landed up here together right now. Just being alive makes you worthy of every single thing that lights you up. And you have that desire for a reason, because you are meant to fulfill that. You don't create your desires. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Your desires came into you and are trying to work their way through you. That is part of the creation process on Earth, is that you are meant to fulfill what brings you joy. We are all on this path to like self-fulfillment. And if we are all doing that, we are bringing up the collective energy. We are all raising the vibration of not only Earth, but like beyond. Like there is a very specific process that we're all going through right now. And you are meant to fulfill your desires. You have them for a reason. So we're going to tap into them today. If you don't have a journal, I recommend having a journal. We are going to go through a couple journal prompts, but I also have a PDF worksheet that I made for you guys that I'm going to drop in the chat. It's a PDF link. As soon as you click on it, you're going to be able to download your own version, and it is a full list of the journal prompts that I recommend for this Lionsgate. Now, it covers shadow work and subconscious rewiring. It covers inner child work and activating your golden shadow. And if you guys haven't heard of your golden shadow, it's basically what is on the other side of your shadow. Your shadow is a hint to what skills, gifts, abilities, and positive aspects of yourself that you're meant to embody. So shadow work is actually light work. Like it is disguised in fear and disownment and this heavy energy, but it's actually tied to exactly who you are meant to be and what you're meant to embody. So the worksheet goes into that as well. Quantum identity and timeline shifting. So stepping into the version of yourself you wish to be in the now. Again, time does not exist, guys. Every possible outcome is being played out right now in another reality. And did you know it's as easy to shift to another reality as shifting your mind to what that reality is like? Like, there are infinite realities being played out right now that mimic this one with the slightest change. Like, for example, there's another reality right now that if everything is the exact same, except I'm holding this bottle, okay? And I can shift into that reality in the now by assuming that state. Isn't that so weird? Like, it is so much easier to shift realities than we think. We think it's this big process, like we're going to have this like big gap, but where we're like in between realities. You are constantly shifting through realities every single day, and it is by the choices you choose to make and the identity you wish to assume. And your identity is how you think, feel, and behave on a normal day-to-day basis. This is really this Lionsgate, and all time, again, you can tap into this portal energy literally anytime. It's all about getting very clear on what you want, because if you are not clear on what you want, it's going to be really difficult to step into what you want, to know what you want is here, and to know who the version of you is who has that thing. That's the entire game, guys. It's not about trying to chase what you want. It's about knowing who the version of you is in the reality where you already have what you want. So think about this, okay? You're basically reverse engineering it. Let's say you got what you wanted, right? Whatever that is, the relationship, the job, the finances, making the move, whatever it is. That manifestation would technically create a different version of you. Maybe you'd be more confident. Maybe you would have different habits than you have now. Maybe you'd dress differently. Maybe you'd make, different decisions. If you reverse engineer that and you get clear on how you would be different and you start doing those things in the now, then your manifestations will be magnetized to you because you've become an energetic match for them, if that makes sense. That is the key. That is the hack. Okay. So I want you to get very, very clear on the desires that you have. Write them down. Again, if you have a notebook, go get your notebook. We're going to do a couple journal prompts today. We're just going to do a few just to give you a taste of what's in the worksheet that I have for you. And then I'm going to drop the link in the chat so you guys can take that with you and do that today, right? I'm going to walk you through a little breathwork session today and a little guided manifestation to start stepping into that version of you. So that's one reason why you want to get clear on what your desires are, because we're going to explore in a meditation who that version of you is and call that version of you into the now, into this physical reality. Okay. And then for the rest of the day after this chat, I'm going to put the sound bath that we are going to be listening to today during our breathwork and meditations. I'm going to be doing a live stream that's going to go all night with that sound bath. And then at 6 p.m. PST, there's going to be the black screen version of that releasing tonight on my sleep music channel, just in case you want to listen to it still, but you'd rather it be dark screen. Okay, so I'm new at this, by the way. Can you tell me what a sound bath is? It's basically creating an environment where you can bathe in the frequencies and experience the benefits of them. So basically what this sound bath is, it is ambient sleep music that I've created infused with 888 hertz. So that is the frequency of this lion's gate. It is meant to help release energetic blockages. It's meant to increase your vibration. It's meant to help it become easier to tap into the reality that you desire. So it's perfect for the manifestation meditation that we're going to do. And again, if everything revolves around our consciousness, what we assume, what we believe, I recommend that you believe that you are receiving the upgrades, the energetic encoding from the music that we will be listening to, and that it is kind of aligning your energy with your desires, with your manifestations. Again, the only reason why we don't instantly create and manifest the things that we want to is because of the physical or the mental and energetic limitations that we believe are in place between us and our desires. If we remove those, you experience such momentum in the things that you desire. And again, I'm going to give you an example of it at the end of our little Lionsgate activation, because again, I went to the Monroe Institute, just got back a few days ago, and that was like the biggest thing on my desires list. And now so much has come from that. It literally came in like that, out of nowhere. You don't have to worry about the how. You just have to worry about being in alignment with that thing that you desire and operating from the place like you already have it. And it's not really pretending that you have it. It's assuming the identity of the version of you that has it, because technically we don't want the thing that we desire. We want who we become and how we feel on the other side of that. So you want to skip to that. You want to skip to that feeling. You want to skip to that identity. And then reverse engineering, the manifestation comes in because you're now in alignment with that, if that makes sense. I've been having more dreams lately and with better recall, which is insane because I don't dream. Interesting. That is so cool. Make sure to keep writing your dreams down, because people think that they don't need to write their dreams down unless they're remembering their dreams. But your dream journal is a memory building tool. It is the act of writing your dreams down is what helps you build your dream recall even quicker. Okay, guys, now that we've kind of warmed up, said our hellos, I'm going to jump in a little bit to what this Lion's Gate is and why it's potent right now. And especially if this has been your, this is your first Lion's Gate, or you want to know a little bit about like what makes this time energetically more powerful for the things we want to create. Again, time does not exist. Space does not exist. You can tap into this energy anytime. But this is just a taste of what's going on right now, why people are saying the things that they're saying, and so on, okay? So the Lionsgate portal opens up from late July to mid-August, and it peaks on August 8th. 8/8 today. And it's marked by the rising of Sirius, which is the brightest star in the sky, which ancient Egyptians and many spiritual traditions saw as a time of renewal, abundance, spiritual activation, and energetic alignment. Now, the actual alignment in the sky is with the sun. The sun is in Leo, the Earth, and the brightest star, Sirius. They are all in alignment with each other. And again, Sirius is not only the brightest star in the sky, but it is known throughout many traditions as the spiritual sun. So we have this really powerful alignment energy. And again, the sun also represents your soul, the person that you are meant to be. And so it's almost like bridging the gap between who you're meant to be, this identity, and spirit. And the spirit plane, we've talked a little bit about this in my videos and my shorts. There's 3 planes basically: the mental plane, the spiritual plane, and the physical plane. The physical plane is what we're experiencing now. This is the results plane though. So we don't do our work technically in the physical plane. We do it in the spiritual plane, which is the realm that contains all of our desires. When you are thinking about the things that you want, you're tapping into the spiritual plane, the energetic plane. The mental plane is where all the work is. We have to transcend our mental energy, our thoughts, our thinking, our beliefs to match what we desire on the spiritual plane, and then we see the results of it in the physical plane. So if you want to know where you're at with your desires, what you've been thinking, look to the physical plane, because this is the results plane. We don't do the work here. If you try to only do work in the physical, you're going to notice you're going to be hustling, you're going to be trying way harder than you need to be. It's all an energetic game, really. So we tap into our desires, our dreams, the life that we want in the energetic plane, right? And then we train the mind to be in alignment with that. Now, that's what I mean by assuming the identity of your desires. Who are you in the reality where your desires already existed? How are you different there than you are here? And then you have now like basically a map of the version you need to be in alignment with that thing, right? So you want to get really, really clear, not only on your desires, but who that version of you is that has them. How are you different? How do you talk in that reality? How do you think? How do you talk about yourself? How do you interact with others? What are you wearing? What do you eat? What are your habits? Once you kind of have that roadmap, you can start implementing those changes in the now, which makes you an energetic match for your desires. So, as far as the spiritual sun, so we talked about how ancient Egyptians viewed Sirius as our spiritual sun and other spiritual traditions over the years. And its alignment is believed to send high frequency light waves to Earth, opening a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. Now, this is really how you manifest all things, is by bridging spirit with the physical realm. Like if you see them as separate and they feel separate, you're going to feel the resistance and separateness. But if you can be the person you desire to be in that reality and train your mind and work with physical reality to be that version of you now, you're going to experience really magical synchronicities that don't make any fucking sense. They literally don't even make sense how they happen. And that's the thing you have to remember. You don't have to worry about the how. Because if you're worrying about the how, then you're basically assuming the identity of the version of you that doesn't have it. See how it all works? If you want something, you're assuming the identity that you don't have it, because if you want something, it means you don't have it, right? Now, I have to make a video on this as well, because I did this meditation at the Monroe Institute where I got 5, they walked us through getting 5 important messages that we need right now, and it's all based around this. And one of the last messages I got was, whatever you desire, have love for it. And I think it really relates to this energy as well. Love is the highest frequency that we can experience. Love is literally in the state of experiencing and having. And so if there's a desire that you wish to have, instead of wanting it, instead of getting upset that it isn't here, what would it feel like to totally just love that and be in love with that? Especially because if you can think of it like we talked about, energy it cannot be created nor destroyed. It means it already exists on some sort of plane. And so if you can even think of what you want, it means it is already possible for you. So start to have love with it. Fall in love with the things that you desire, and you will notice this merging between what you desire in that plane and what you're experiencing in the now. Okay, now the Lionsgate portal is known as, this one specifically, is known as a rare 888 gateway. People say it's exceptionally rare. And the reason why is because numerology wise, if you add 8 plus 8 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6, 2026, it reduces to the number 8. So 8 is all about the energetic themes of abundance, manifestation, and personal power. And because it is a 888, this energy is extremely compounded. So this 888 is technically more powerful than the past ones, which I can totally feel. Like, everything has felt really energetically potent recently, especially since I got back from Monroe, basically once I left from Monroe. And it's really cool that that happened during like a Lionsgate. And then on my birthday, August 12th, which is like next week, I don't even know what day it is right now. I think it's a solar eclipse. It's either a solar eclipse no, I'm pretty sure it's a solar eclipse. So like this week is so much. By the way, my birthday lands on the Perseid meteor shower. So August 12th is when the meteor shower is going to peak. That is something I've done every single year. Like my whole entire life is watch the meteor shower. It feels like a little birthday gift. Okay. So don't forget about that. There's so much happening, but next week there's the solar eclipse and the meteor shower. Okay. And again, just because we're experiencing this portal right now doesn't mean that you can't tap into this energy at any time, but I would definitely make good use of this time, because there's so many people thinking about this portal right now. There's so many people putting their collective beliefs into this portal right now. Like, the energy is so much stronger because of the collective focus on this time right now, let alone like the numerology and whatever else you believe about this portal. Thank you so much. I will write them down. It's so easy to remember them when I read exactly. As soon as you write your dreams down, it basically locks it in your consciousness. And anytime you go back to that dream, it's like a vivid memory. It's like it locks it in forever. So that's another benefit of writing your dreams down. Okay, now quickly, the power of Leo. Leo goes right in alignment with the energy of 8-8 because it rules the heart, courage, authenticity, and leadership. And this portal challenges your ability to stop playing small, step out of the shadows, and embody your true royalty. Now, whatever that means for you, have you been experiencing some situations recently that is causing you to have to step outside of your comfort zone and speak up, or be seen, or be the leader in some way? Think about any situation that's been coming up, and it is directly connected to your manifestation of embodying your desires. Because if we don't break through the fear that's coming up, we remain stuck in that resistance. It's basically, once we start doing this work, it's almost like the universe will be like, okay, let's put this to the test. Let's make sure that you've learned the lesson and you're willing to step into that new identity. So I will definitely say, again, we're going to talk a little bit about it after, but Monroe was definitely highlighting that for me because I'm very comfortable online, right, in the digital world. But going to this retreat, and it was also a creator gateway. So it was like tons of other online creators, and everyone was like so fucking genius and like amazing, and everyone was really successful in their businesses and everything they're building. And it was a little intimidating at first because it was like not only so much energy, but everyone was a teacher there. Everyone had their own audiences, everyone was sharing, and it was like so powerful. And it was like caused me to have to step out of my comfort zone. And, like online, it's easy to edit a video and post what you want people to see, or like control how much you're able to show up. But there I felt like I was like totally visible. And I know that that is exactly the energy that I needed to break through some of my own fears, my own limitations. And so look into your life as well and see like where you could be called to showing up more fully, to being more expressive and using your voice and being seen. Because once you can step into that discomfort, you've proved to the universe, okay, I'm willing to go first. I'm willing to show you that I'm ready to show up differently, and I'm ready to be bold, and I'm ready to use my voice. And it initiates such a powerful like momentum when it comes to receiving and stepping into the reality where your desires already exist. It's basically like an initiation process, it feels like. Now, there's one more alignment to discuss, and that is Jupiter is also in Leo right now, and that is the planet of luck, massive expansion, and growth. So that also goes in alignment with all of this stuff that we're talking about. So as you can see, like the energy for like being seen and growth and abundance and stepping into your personal power is just like magnified. So all of this acts like a giant megaphone basically for everybody's confidence and creative desires. So look at where you're being called into higher confidence. And it's not going to feel natural at first. It's going to feel uncomfortable. But guess what? Every time you step out of your comfort zone, what happens? You expand your comfort zone. And that's exactly what we want. We want to experience that expansion, because as soon as you start expanding your comfort zone, you actually have more space now to receive more. If your cup's already full and you're fighting to hold on to your limitations, you're fighting to hold on to your fears, there's not a lot of room for new energy to come in. And also, look at what identity you're assuming if you choose to hold on to your desires. And we talk a lot about Neville Goddard as well on this channel. Like, Neville's work talks directly about how, with mathematical accuracy, we can receive anything that we desire if we learned how to assume the identity of it already being fulfilled. Again, time doesn't exist. So you can't say like, oh, it's going to take time for me to create this. Oh, I want this one day. There's no one day. This is this day, every day, contains every moment to ever possibly exist, and you must create the change in the now, in your identity, and assume that you are one with your desires, and you will experience that oneness. It's so crazy. We learned a lot about like paradoxes, for example, in the Monroe Institute, and everything is technically a paradox. Like, there's no rules to how all of this works. It's like, as soon as you declare and claim that oneness in the now, like, nope, I'm deciding I am the person that deserves this in the now, and I'm going to now operate that way as if it is already mine. It literally is like, oh shit, okay. It literally comes in without having to fight physical reality. So remember that when we talk about the three spiritual planes: the spirit plane, mental plane, physical plane. Spirit plane is where all your desires exist. Mental plane is what you have to learn to tune to that reality in the spirit plane. The physical reality is where you can see the results of how that is going. The physical plane is really good at showing you where you are at mentally and energetically. And I definitely recommend, when you look around, when you see different results coming in, what thoughts or beliefs could I have been thinking that are creating this? Because you will see you are a master creator. That is something really powerful to realize, is that you were brought here to create. That is your divine mission. You were brought here to create. So don't hold yourself in such a small bubble, because again, if you create this limitation that you're not ready, that now becomes that identity and that reality. It's like your words are your wand. They instantly create whatever you assume. So keep that in mind. You are so much more powerful than you believe. So because the number 8 and showing up a million times, and it's so funny because also the visual that I created for my 8-8 video, the 888 video, was the eighth video in this batch of animations I made. And you know, when you have multiple files on your computer of the same name, that was the 8th file name with the number 8 in it. So it literally said 88. And so this number is coming up everywhere, and it's not a coincidence. Like, because this is coming up, it's representing that infinity, you know, the infinity symbol everywhere, this timelessness, that there is no time. And that is probably one of the biggest things that you can realize that will completely change everything, is that there is no time. Well, think about that for a second. There is no time. It's all operating now. We are the ones that create the illusion of time by thinking that we aren't ready to have our desires now. That we have to wait, or we have to go through this big like lesson before we can. You can say fuck all of that and it's allowed. You can say, actually, no, I'm ready now. And the universe is waiting for you to assume that state of being. And you will notice magic happen. That's magic. That is true magic. Like, and what's cool is like science is starting to explore this. Like quantum physics and neuroscience, to me, it feels like that is the study and like the research of actual magic. Because we're learning how to manipulate our reality. We're learning how to use our mind to manipulate physical matter. To me, what's more magical than that? That's absolutely magic. So this window right now is really a cosmic window for calling in wealth and purpose. And it is supercharged right now because of all of these alignments that we're talking about. So the energetic and spiritual significance, we're just going to cover that really quick. This portal is said to thin the veil between the physical and spiritual realms, making it easier to access higher guidance, subconscious wisdom, and quantum possibility. Of course, it always exists, right? But you may have an easier time right now tapping into your intuition, getting information from dreams, and there's a less energetic resistance when it comes to assuming that identity that we're talking about now. Have fun, play the game. This is all a game. We're literally living in a simulation. It is literally a video game. And we were brought here on Earth to forget that we are powerful creators. And if we wanted to just instantly manifest anything, we wouldn't have come to Earth, because this is the only realm where things, you know, are kind of slowed down in a way. Because it's such a dense physical reality. The moment you remove that in your mind, like, you will experience such more flow with the things you want to create. But enjoy the effort, enjoy the process, enjoy playing the game, because we came here to experience the game. That was another message that I got, was that like the human effort to merge with our desires is the human gift. That's what we came here to receive as spiritual beings, is that gift of remembering and discovering and becoming. Like, we don't just want the thing, you know, we don't just want the thing we're manifesting. Literally, we want the process. We want to go on that journey of remembering who we are. And now is the time to truly remember who the fuck you are. You are so much more powerful than you could ever imagine. And if you truly realized that you are everything that you look at, everything you experience, every single person that you meet is you, just another aspect of your consciousness designed to be there to wake you up and help you remember, you would never doubt yourself again. You would trust yourself so infinitely because you know that this is all you. That's another thing we talked about in Monroe. There is no separation between you and what you're experiencing. Like, when you desire something, when you ask for guidance, when you ask for something, you're actually asking an aspect of yourself for permission. And so if you can just give yourself permission in the now, you can receive it. Again, we don't have all these karmic lessons that we have to go through before we can live the life that we desire. Life is so short. We do not have to do that. If you learned from your past situations, that's the whole point, is that you learned, is that you became a different person through the things that you went through. You're constantly evolving and expanding your consciousness. That's the entire game. So if you've been learning on this journey, you're doing more than enough. So let yourself feel worthy now. Let yourself know that you are enough right fucking now. Like, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to delay feeling good anymore. This is where it stops. Right now. You're receiving this right now. You're hearing this right now because it's your time right now to let yourself feel good. To actually get clear on what you want now because it's ready to come to you. What you seek is seeking you because, again, it is you. There's no separation between you and the things that you want and the things that you see and the things that you desire and the things that you're learning. Like, you just have to allow it to come in. Like, that was something also that I learned in Monroe is like, I was like trying to like ask for advice or wisdom from these higher realms. And all I had to do, since everything is us pushed out, I just had to give myself permission to receive it. And then the answer came in. What does that show me? That we have the answers every single step of the way because it is all us. Like, we are tapped into that infinite intelligence because it is us. And the moment you realize that, you're going to be manifesting like no other. You're going to be like, what the? Because that's our natural state of being. Like, it's not even like a skill you have to learn. It's basically just remembering who you are and that that's how this reality works. And that's how life gets to be for you. Life gets to be good. Life gets to be beautiful. Okay. And again, like, this is a remembrance I want you to carry always with you. But the energy you're feeling right now with the 8-8, it's just amplifying it even more because, number one, the collective is really focused on this time. And astronomy-wise and numerology-wise, everything is lined up to help you with this remembrance much more easily. Like, you just have to allow yourself to receive not only the energy right now, but allow yourself to receive feeling good now. Like, and notice what little thoughts are coming in, what feelings are coming in. This whole system, this physical body is a machine that is designed to help you calibrate to high physical realms. Like, even though it helps ground us in this physical reality, so, you know, we can experience being a human, like, it is this whole operating system that allows you to tap into whatever part of yourself you desire. And I've been experiencing some crazy stuff in meditation since the Monroe Institute that have just helped me really realize, like, we have every single thing we could ever desire in the now. We just actually have to let ourselves receive it. And that's removing the mental resistance to thinking that you aren't ready or that it's not possible for you or whatever it is. That's the mental game. That's the only thing that's preventing the physical reality, our physical reality, from merging with the spirit realm. Like, everything we desire just dropping in is that mental. The mental plane is the buffer, is the barrier between the two. So this is where the work is. Everything that you desire, everything in the spirit plane, which is all and anything that's energy, is naturally meant to just drop in to the physical. It's meant to be this ongoing dance, but it's the mental plane that creates so much unnecessary resistance. So we're going to do some journal prompts soon, but just ask yourself where you may be feeling that resistance or where you may be creating that resistance that's not necessary. You get to make the rules. There's no rules that you have to follow. I hope you know that. You don't have to go through all of these trials and lessons to like deserve the life that you want. That's a story that you made up, and you can drop it now. You can drop it today and you'll notice the change instantly after removing that. So in this community, especially if you have my app, I have an app called DreamLife, and it basically helps you create the life of your dreams using the things we talk about on the channel. I created a 3-step system that kind of guides you through that entire process. Access, rewire, design. Access your subconscious mind, rewire your brain, design your dream life with proven reality shifting practices. That's basically my 3-step formula to creating the life that you desire. And I wanted to chat a tiny bit about how you can use that 3-step system to really use this energy of Lionsgate. So access, that tier is all about accessing your subconscious mind. That's through dream work, that's through meditation, that's through journaling. Even just setting intentions to receive guidance or clarity in your dreams is using that access tier. So allow yourself to explore what's going on in your subconscious mind. Look at what stories you've been creating. Look at what thoughts you've been having that don't serve you anymore. And that falls into the rewire tier, but you can choose to embody its divine opposite. Everything has a divine opposite. And so when you have a story that's maybe limiting, what is the opposite of this story, or what else could be true? That's actually the story that you're meant to embody. It's just like we talked about with the shadow. The shadow is meant to highlight the golden shadow, the aspects of you that you are actually meant to embody. So shadow work is actually light work, like we talked about. It is designed to help you embody and witness your own light so that you can live more fully. It's embracing the shadow and seeing what the shadow is actually showing you. For example, like let's say that you have a shadow of speaking, or that you have a difficult time being seen. That means that you are meant to speak and express fully, and maybe you have some sort of gift or skill in that expression, in singing or speaking or whatever it may be. And so your shadow is just a little hint of like the goodness within you that you're actually meant to experience every single day, that's probably attached to a deeper divine purpose. So don't be scared of shadow work. It's actually really, really, really beautiful, and will free up so much energy that we spend like fighting, and denying and suppressing and disowning aspects of ourselves. So the access tier is all about subconscious work, basically. And again, you can do that with practicing dream work, meditating. You can even just set an intention or ask a question before you drop into meditation, and allow yourself to go into higher states. Now, you can even do Robert Monroe's process, what he calls them focus levels. Focus 10 is mind awake, body asleep. So you can take a few deep breaths, wait until your body feels really, really, really relaxed, and just kind of repeat 10 in your mind a couple times. And then when you're ready, you can go up to the next level, and you will notice that your energy starts to expand. Like focus 10 is mind awake, body asleep. Then he goes up to focus 12, which is expanded awareness. And this is where intuition can start to come in. This is where you start to have all these insights. And then focus 15, I'd focus on those 3 levels. 15 is the state of no time. So you can tap into your future timeline that you want to embody. Sometimes past shit will just come up, like, a memory from your childhood that is directly connected to something you're experiencing now, as far as like resistance or block. And so it's where time starts to dissolve. And so 10, 12, 15. Those are the main levels I would play with. And again, you don't even need to repeat the levels. Just see yourself stepping up on a staircase, basically, as you go deeper and deeper in meditation. The more relaxed you are, the higher you are on the staircase. And just notice how it feels different. You'll notice your state of consciousness changing. You will notice that these different levels of awareness feel differently. And you can receive something different the higher you go. So just play around with that. The next tier is rewire. So this is all about rewiring your brain, getting rid of limiting beliefs, old stories, emotional blocks. I think that is extremely important when it comes to creating the life that we want, because again, that's the mental plane. That's literally everything that's kind of standing in the way from what we want. It's all an inner game. There's nothing on the outside that's technically preventing us from embodying our desires in the now. It's the mental plane that convinces, well, I'm not ready. Oh, I'm too scared to do this. I'm not worthy of it. That's all story. It means nothing. Everything that's going on in your mind is stuff from your past experiences, your memories, things that you've been told, things that you believe to be true. You are allowed to question all of that. What else could be true? Is this a fact or is this actually a story? And you can start to dismantle these limiting belief systems that have actually prevented you from feeling good in the now and receiving what you desire so much quicker, and knowing that you're the person that deserves to experience that. Again, we talked about just being here on planet Earth right now. The odds of that are insane. You are meant to experience every single thing that you desire, because that desire is not something that you created. It's working through you. It's meant to be experienced. It's meant to be embodied. Now, the last tier is design. This is the super fun tier. It is where you get to script and create your dream life, visualize your next level reality, and then you know what micro-aligned actions to take once you know the version of you in the reality that you desire. Again, think of one strong desire that you have. Think of one strong desire that you want to experience in the now. Who is the version of you that has it? How do they think differently in that reality? How do they feel? How do they behave? What actions do they take? How do they talk to others? And you're basically mapping out the exact formula to receive that thing. Again, reverse engineering. That is the key. That's what no one talks about when it comes to manifestation. It's all about like all these little things, like make sure you journal in this way or make sure you do this. But it's all about calibrating yourself to the feeling of having the thing that you desire and walking around like you fucking have it and treating yourself like you have it and that you're that badass that has it. You don't need to do any work to get it. It's yours already. That is the state of merging with your desire. If you are wanting it, if you are stressed that you don't have it, if you're trying to figure out how to get it, that you got to look at the state energetically. That is all the state of not having. There's either the state of having or the state of not having. So look at what identity you're assuming, and I promise you're going to experience magic. Give this 30 days. Focus on one single goal if you want to. Map out the exact version of you that has that desire. Map out what thoughts that version of you thinks, what beliefs that version of you has, the habits that you have, what time you wake up, the type of food you eat, and literally just play a game where you become that person for even 30 days. And I swear to God, you will experience a whole new timeline, and like the weirdest shit will just start coming in. Like the synchronicities you start to experience, you'll be like, oh my God, this is no coincidence. It's absolutely because I've changed my inner state. It's all part of the game. Okay, now before we get into the few journal prompts, so make sure that you have your dream journal, or not your dream journal, your whatever journal you want to do these prompts in. We only have a few, and then I will post a link in the chat where you can get your full worksheet. You can just download it directly onto your device so you can continue doing the journal work later today if that's something that you want to do. So best ways to work with this energy right now, which again, you can tap into at any time. Basically every fucking day is a portal. Every day is a portal, an invitation to step into the life that you want, because again, time doesn't exist, time, space doesn't exist. But for the sake of this Lion's Gate, this is how you can work with the energy. Set a clear intention for what you want to release and call in. What's one thing you want to let go of, and what's one thing you want to create in your life? This could be energetic, this could be physical, whatever. Look at the biggest thing that's preventing you from feeling like you deserve your desires, that you are one with them. Like, is it a feeling of worthiness? Is it fear? Is it like you have a hard time being seen or speaking your truth? Like, is it overthinking? Like, and even if it's overthinking, look at what the thoughts are saying, because you want to go a little bit deeper than that. Like, are they based in fear? Are they based in lack? So you want to choose one thing that you're committed to releasing. And now stating it as well, you're more likely to realize when it comes up. So I can't remember which monk said this, but they said the seeing is the doing. Like that is the work, is becoming aware of these things, and it starts to kind of happen on its own. So become aware of the thing you want to release, let go of. That already starts putting it into motion, and then you will start to become so much more aware of it every single time it comes up, and it will just start to lose its power and just start to dismantle itself over time. And then one thing you want to call in and make that your focus of understanding that feeling. Now, what I mean by the feeling is the feeling that you would have in your body if it happened. That's the key, guys. That's the key, my dudes. I swear to God. The feeling is the secret. If you want to know more about that as well, Neville Goddard literally has a book called The Feeling is the Secret. That's the missing piece to manifestation that literally no one has talked about forever. People are starting to talk about it, but like, it's not just about like pretending or doing this. It's about assuming the feeling inside. And because the way you feel will change your behavior, like it's all part of the thread. So like, look at what you'd be thinking and feeling and doing if you got the thing that you wanted. That's the formula, guys. I swear to God. So set your intention for what you want to call in, what you want to release. Next, I love this, journal or script as your dream self, describing your ideal reality in the present tense, literally like you are telling one of your friends how good your life is now. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that this happened. I'm experiencing this every single day. I finally got this. I feel so amazing that this has happened. Every day feels so amazing and easy now that blank, 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 blank. I wake up and I get to do this. I feel so fulfilled. I feel so grateful. I can't believe that this gets to be my life now. It feels so amazing. I'm now the person that does this. Like, describe it in the now and read it so you can actually feel the feelings of it. Let's say you got exactly what you wanted and you're telling the first person about it. Like, it could be your friend, it could be your a parent, it could be whatever. Describe it in that way and just let yourself write and tap into it. And that's how you shift realities. That is literally how you shift realities. Plus, E equals MC squared, okay? Energy is interchangeable with matter. That's really what that means. And as soon as you take energy, your desires, your dreams, shit that you want to happen, and you put it on physical paper, guess what you just did? You just brought it into physical matter. You have solidified it into physical reality. And now all you have to do is assume the state of that wish fulfilled and move from that state. And you're going to start to witness a really interesting merging process that you don't even have it. You don't need to try super hard to make it happen. You just focus on calibrating this machine, this human body, this mental plane, right? And how you behave and how you think as if you are the version of yourself that has it. No shit, I have it, because I am that person. I am that person in the now. Like, become so confident that you are that version of yourself, that you do deserve that. And of course the universe would bring this to me. Duh. Literally constantly creates magic for me all the time. Of course this would happen. Normalize it. Because again, if you had something in the now, it would be normalized in your body. It would be normalized in your mind because you've already received it. That's the hack. You can't put your dreams on a pedestal, because then that's kind of like in a state of like wishing or wanting or like trying to grasp it. So you got to take them off of the pedestal and focus on the version of you that you became. Again, we're collapsing time, okay? This is truly the hack, I promise you. Now, another thing is practicing dream incubation, which we sleep for a third of our lives. There's so many magical things that happen during sleep, and a lot of inventions have actually came to be through sleep or dream states. And before you fall asleep, your subconscious mind is wide open, which means it's less likely to resist new thoughts, new ideas, new feelings. So I like to play in the version of me that I'm manifesting, like as if I'm actually going to bed as that person. Like, I will go to bed and then recall my day back, but as the day that I would have in that desired reality, if that makes sense. So I'm assuming that identity in the now. I'm not like, I wish for this, I wish for that. I'm like, damn, today was so cool. I did this, I got this, like this happened. I got whatever, whether you want $100,000 a month Whether you want to do speaking events, whether you want to manifest your ideal relationship, walk through your day backwards like it already happened as you're going to sleep. And your brain cannot tell the difference between something you're dreaming about, something that you're imagining, or something that's actually happening. And so you're using that right before bed when your subconscious mind is open and your conscious mind is more kind of asleep. So your brain just starts to just receive it and not resist it and take it in. And it starts to change and encode your state over time, especially right before sleep. This is the most powerful time to do that. You can do that for manifestation. You can ask for guidance or clarity through your dreams. Yes, exactly, Skip. It's basically using the liminal state, the edge between awake and asleep, to infuse your desires and your manifestations. That is the perfect time. You can do it anytime during meditation or whatever, because you access mind awake, body asleep, which is the liminal state during deep meditation. But since we go through that state every single night before sleep, it's the perfect time to infuse with our desires in the now. Again, never think of your desires in like future tense, because time doesn't exist. If you're manifesting them in future tense, they'll always be in the future. You have to assume them in the now and merge with them in your identity in the now. And yeah, during the liminal state, which is that kind of dreamy state in between awake and asleep, is the perfect time to do this work. And we all go to bed every night, so it's a way to make sure that you get to practice this every single night before you fall asleep. Another thing is using breath work or meditation to ground and amplify your energy. We're going to use some breath work today. I'm going to guide you through a little breath work session. It's going to be super duper awesome, and breath work can instantly shift your state. We also hold a lot of our emotions and memories in our gut. And so when we're breathing in a way where we're using and activating our diaphragm, you're like basically wringing your body out of any excess energy, and you will feel the shift. There's a million different types of breath work you can do. You can do DMT breath, which kind of releases that DMT kind of high feeling. You can do like holotropic breathing or something, which kind of helps release stuck emotion and helps kind of reset your energetic system. There's breath work that you can do in the morning to increase your energy. There's breath work you can do before bed to help you fall asleep. I mean, it's crazy that we can experience all these altered states of consciousness through our breath without anything. Like, we're absolutely meant to experience these states because they happen naturally. So we're going to explore a little breath work today. We already kind of touched on this, but reflect on what's ready to be released and what you're ready to receive. And again, you just have to make the declaration. It doesn't have to be this whole thing, I'm working on releasing this. And you can decide in the now that you're releasing it. And it's building. It's like Joe McGonigal. We actually met him at the Monroe Institute. And he was a part of Project Stargate, and he has been a remote viewer for over 50 years. And he worked with U.S. Army intelligence on lots of different things, even solved missing person cases and tons of stuff through remote viewing. And he said, working with your mind is literally like martial arts of the mind. Now, even though he was referring to remote viewing, I thought that was really interesting because it relates to all of this. It's literally mind martial arts that we are doing. We are learning to use our mind to manipulate physical matter. When is the link getting posted? For the journal prompts, right? I can post, because there's a couple links we talked about. I talked about getting you guys 10% off of Monroe courses and classes. I can post that link. I can post the Lionsgate worksheet for journal prompts right now, which is probably the one you're referring to. Let me post that right now. But yes, this is all martial arts of the mind, guys. It is possible to literally use your mind to create instant change in your body. Like, again, we're collapsing time. Time doesn't mean anything. And manipulate physical matter. All right, and lastly, of best ways to work with this energy is to celebrate your progress and trust the process. Like, if you aren't celebrating every little thing, your brain doesn't know that you achieved something. You have to stop and notice when something amazing happens and celebrate, because now you're activating your reticular activating system, which is a subconscious filter that we all have that is programmed to find certain things in physical reality. It's like the people who say like, oh, I have bad luck, like I'm just someone who has bad luck. They've programmed their subconscious mind to believe that, and now their reticular activating system is now out looking for that to affirm that it's right. Your subconscious mind loves to be right. So use it to your benefit and tell yourself that amazing, magical fucking things always happen to me. Like, I always have things to celebrate about. I'm always receiving things that I desire. I'm always experiencing amazing health. And then your brain will start to look for evidence that that's true, guys. That's science. Look up reticular activating system. It's true. And that's what I love to do on the channel, is like kind of try to bridge science and magic, because they're kind of like the same thing. Okay? They're the same thing, but if our brain can see that there's like a scientific process to something, it's less likely going to resist it, which makes it easier to tap into that magic. Okay, now here is the worksheet. I hope that it's a clickable link for you guys. If it's not, copy and paste that into your web browser, and it will allow you to download your copy of the journal prompts. If it doesn't, like if this isn't clickable for you, I'm going to post it in the description of this live stream so you guys can get it even after. Now we're going to go through a couple prompts. I literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 prompts that are from this worksheet that I'm giving you. Let me see on my end if it's clickable. Let me see. Okay, doesn't look like it's clickable. Does it let me click on it? Okay. Let me try to put it in the description. Can I do that right now? Okay, guys, I'm going to drop the link to that probably in the comments in the description after. So if it doesn't let you click on it right now, don't worry. We're going to go through a few right now. And then I recommend checking that worksheet out today and doing a little bit of journal work, because it covers all the things that we're talking about. Covers shadow work, covers golden shadow, inner child work, quantum shifting, all of that. So let me know if you have your journal. Let me know in the chat. Just send me like a heart or the number 8. Drop the number 8 when you have your journal and you're ready. And we'll go over the first prompts. Okay, yeah, I saw that as well. Okay, so the link is not working for you guys in the chat, but no worries. Let me see if I can. Okay, 1 second. Let me see. Let me... Okay, I'm going to try to get the link again. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, now it's working. I don't think it will be clickable for you still, but I'm going to drop it one more time. And then I'll post it right after this. But we're going to go through a couple prompts right now. And if you don't have your journal right now, that's okay. You can sit and just think about the question and kind of see what comes up. But all these questions will be in the worksheet. I created a whole worksheet before this where it covers like, I don't even know how many prompts. A few. There's at least 20, no, 31, and then it goes through upgrading your energetic pattern. So there's a few different pieces in the worksheet, okay? Okay. The first question that I either want you to write down or think about if you don't have your journal. What reoccurring pattern is showing up? And I'm going to put it in the chat. This is going to be prompt 1 of the worksheet. What reoccurring pattern is showing up? So this could be fear. This could be feeling unworthy or like you don't belong. You could do either one as far as dreams or real life, but this is designed for, it actually says both in the worksheet. So whichever one feels the most relevant. But let's start with in real life and then look at if your dreams could also be repeating that theme. But the question in the worksheet is, what recurring dream themes, emotional patterns, or waking life situations keep showing up for me? So it's actually technically both. So I'll post that one as well. So do whichever one comes into your awareness first. You may see a really clear dream pattern that immediately comes to your mind when you read that. That's what you're meant to dive into. But if something from your waking life comes up, as far as a fear or how you shrink yourself around other people or doubting your ability to do something, notice what specific, and like we talked about, we always have the answer. We're just not used to asking for the answer. We're used to trying to find the answer out in the world, but as soon as we actually ask for it and allow ourselves to receive it, it comes in. It's really interesting. So that's what we're doing now. That's the point of journal prompts, is you already know all of these things, but these questions help you remember, if that makes sense. So what recurring dream themes, emotional patterns, or waking life situations keep showing up for me? What might they be trying to reveal, teach, or help me heal? Now this is prompt 4 of the worksheet. And if you need me to slow down, if you're writing, let me know. Again, these will be in the worksheet after, so you'll still have access to them. What has this old belief or pattern been trying to protect me from? Even if it's limiting me now, how did it once help me feel safe? That's another thing, is like, show gratitude to these parts of yourself, because all of these aspects are really just trying to help keep you safe. The fear, the speaking up, allowing yourself to be seen, the whatever it is, it's like there was a purpose for that at a time. Maybe it was safer to not be seen or speak up when you were a child. Maybe it wasn't safe to do that. So you learned to protect yourself. You need to hide a little bit from the world. Everybody does in their own way. And they might not come up immediately. Maybe you need to slightly change the question. You can even ask, is there any patterns that I wish to change? Because again, your brain is kind of like a search engine. You might ask a question or input a request and not receive anything. But even slightly changing it and even putting in, well, what if I did know? It's really interesting. Then your brain's like, oh, well, you should have just said it that way. So slightly change the question if needed. But it could be, is there anything in my life that feels limiting right now? It could be, is there any aspect of what I'm experiencing in life that I want to change? Is there a version of me that I've been experiencing recently that I'm ready to let go of? Hey, Eric. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Happy August. So good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Much love. And again, as soon as you ask the question, your subconscious mind is kind of searching through the files, looking through what information's in there. And so you may receive an answer later, or it may show you later. You might actually run into a situation where you're like, oh my God, there's this pattern that I didn't even realize until, I asked to see it. So get really good at asking yourself to be shown what you need to see. Because it's really interesting how reality starts to respond as soon as we just ask. Like we talked about, it's no use trying to search through physical reality and hustle to see, like, it's all in here. The physical reality is just a mirror. The physical reality is just a mirror to what's going on energetically. Okay, let's go into the next one. It looks like it's prompt 10. Now I'm going to post both versions of the questions. That way you can see kind of how they can be asked differently. What gift is hidden in the part I've rejected? Or what part of me have I judged, rejected, or misunderstood that may actually hold a gift? So what part of you do you reject? And it doesn't have to be a negative thing, by the way. Like an example of like the golden shadow is maybe you have this shadow like when you were younger that like maybe you're really good at math. Maybe you're really good at like just knowing random facts. And then your parents were like, oh, nobody likes a smart ass. And so you were taught like, oh, wisdom is something I should hide. So now looking at it, it's like maybe you rejected your knowledge because you learned that it's not safe to feel like you know more than other people or you know something deeply for yourself. Because that causes you to have to like shrink when you're around people. So that's not even a negative trait at all. And there's really no trait, like negative, positive, they're all just labels, right? So if we ask this question, regardless if we think it's a negative aspect, a positive, whatever, we're just looking at where we've rejected our own light. Then again, the seeing is the doing. We start to unravel like, oh, there was nothing inherently wrong with this version of me. It's just what I learned. Which means it stems from a story that isn't even yours. It's technically your parents' story or whoever told you that to begin with. You know what I mean? Okay. Next question is, what golden quality am I ready to own? Or, in other words, what qualities, gifts, confidence, beauty, freedom, creativity, or power do I admire in others? And you can only see within others what is within you. Because, again, every person is a reflection of you. Everything is one consciousness. Things just seem separate because our one consciousness has been individualized into many different experiences, aka people. But they're all versions of you. And you can only recognize what is within you. So what you admire within others are qualities that you're meant to embody. Like maybe you kind of are more introverted or hide from the world a little bit. And maybe you love or are drawn to people who are very like expressive and and energetically open and like really extroverted. So that may mean there's a part of you that is ready to express, even though you may still be introverted. That's totally fine. There's an expression that's maybe ready in some way or another. Maybe you're designed to talk or to write poetry or whatever it is, right? But it goes against who you believed yourself to be. All right, Absolute, you'll like this one. Who is my dream life self? And again, if you feel totally fucking good right now and you don't have anything you feel like you need to work through, or like you don't see any limitations in your life right now, like everything is perfectly going exactly as you want it, then that's amazing. If there isn't something that's coming up, you don't have to try to create something, right? It will present itself when it's ready. But if everything's going well, like you fucking love your life, you love how you're showing up, like everything is just vibey and you feel great, then you don't have to try to find an issue that may not exist. But if you feel or you know that something's ready to be shifted, these questions will help you find it. But if you're just loving everything right now, sweet. Dive into more of that. This next question, this dream life question will be a next good step so you can, create more of that. Could have been in a past life or been culturally taught. Exactly. And I'll have to share one of mine that came up in a meditation at Monroe, because I haven't done a lot of like past life work. Like I've had like a hypnosis before, like probably like 10 years ago on one. I don't even remember it, but I had this pattern that was showing up throughout my life that I actually dove into during this state of no time at Monroe Focus 15 in the meditation. And it brought me back to a vision in my past life, and it totally made sense, and it was so crazy, and it just connected so many dots for me. And then after that, I started feeling so much better. Like I woke up the next day. So like the seeing is the doing. Like as soon as you realize there's a pattern, it starts to loosen the pattern. A real life. So like the version of yourself in life that you desire to be. And I love the excellent question, because we do a lot of work on this channel with both like creating the life of your dreams, but also diving into the world of your dreams, like at night, but also creating your dream life in the daytime. Totally fair to have to make that distinction. What do you mean delayed in waking reality? Or what do you mean by that? But yeah, your ideal self in the waking state. Who do you desire to be? How does that version of you think, feel? Again, this is the identity aspect. This is how you manifest anything. Even if you want a free cup of coffee, you ask yourself, okay, who was the version of me that received a free cup of coffee today? How are they thinking? How are they feeling? And you tap into that reality where you have that free cup of coffee. It could be as big or small. You could use this to manifest anything. I'm telling you, it works with everything, big or small. And the only reason that we may experience delays with the big things is because of the mental resistance we created believing that these bigger things are going to take longer. Girl, it does not. Okay? Take it from me. I can't believe how fast the Monroe Institute manifestation came in. And again, I'm going to share exactly how I did that after we do all this, because it's so crazy. And that proved to me, like, okay, this was like the last straw of me even like doubting that I could create anything. This was like the thing that I have dreamt of for so long. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a little thing. I'm just going to do this little technique to start aligning with it. Literally 9 days later, I can't wait to tell you guys about it. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. I believe if it lets you. Oh yeah, I do see that as well. Let me see. Make sure the timeline is all the way brought to the end. I do see that for some reason also. Since I've been live for 2 hours. But it's only been 120. An hour 20. Interesting. Hey, we're talking about timelines. Time not existing. I guess the stream's playing into that. Hopefully it's you know, chill on the replay and all that. Okay. We're gonna do one last question, okay? What timeline am I leaving and what timeline am I choosing? And then the alternate questions, which are basically the same question, just a different way to ask it. What timeline, identity, fear, or reality am I ready to leave behind tonight? What new reality am I choosing to align with from this point forward? Describe it as if it is already real. So what is the main thing that you're leaving? And again, your subconscious wants to be right all the time. So if you tell it, okay, this is what we're doing now from this point forward, you give it instruction. The brain loves instruction, by the way. You tell it, okay, we're not focusing on this anymore, we're doing this. It's going to do that. If you never give your brain instruction or tell it who you are now becoming or what you're not focusing, it's grasping at anything. You'll notice you have so much overthinking, like you haven't given it a task. So make sure you're giving it a task so it knows what to focus on and amplify and expand on. Again, it's kind of like the bad luck thing. If you've convinced yourself that you have bad luck, your brain's like, okay, I'm going to use so much energy to try to find situations out in the world that affirm that I've had bad luck or that I can now assign this with bad luck. I feel like we're all kind of being brainwashed in a sense. Like being brainwashed is like subconscious programming. And I think we grow up taking on other people's belief systems, stories, and that's a form of brainwashing. And so now what we're doing is unlearning all of that. And if you want to call it brainwashing, we're brainwashing ourselves to fucking remember our magic and to tap into our limitless, timeless, infinite possibility timeline. Like, it's all subconscious programming. And I think that these states that we're talking about are a lot more natural when we remember that we can just unlearn things, if that makes sense. This whole process is more about unlearning than learning anything. Oh, like gateway tapes or something? I do feel like I got an upgrade. I did a lot of Monroe meditations in there, but they're more about accessing like altered states, like going to focus 12, 15, 21. We learned emotional healing. We learned manifesting. We learned how to connect with loved ones on the other side. We learned how to collapse timelines. We practiced remote viewing. So many amazing things. And it was also with Monroe Sound Science. So it was their secret, like, hemisync technology. And what I do think is that after I left there, I've experienced so much more flow with my work, my energy, my mind is way more clear. Like, I noticed I was taking in a ton of information before, like always having a podcast on, always having an audiobook on, always watching something. Since I got back, it's kind of like overwhelming to do that. Like, I've been having a lot more silence, doing a lot more things in silence, being more in silence, but I've also noticed my mind being quieter as well. And I have a very active mind, so that's been kind of weird. So I think it did program me in a really awesome way. And my dreams have been so much more vivid. Like, I'm talking like more vivid than I've ever remembered my dreams being. Ever. And I do a lot of dream work. So I do feel like a new version of myself in a lot of ways. But it's all really beautiful. Like, really amazing. You are God, my brother. You are. That's the whole thing. You are that. And again, you're trying to become something that you already are. If we are all one consciousness and we are all the creator in this world that we're living, we're all the same consciousness individualized into other people. It's literally, that's the illusion though. We're all living our own universe and we're all gods within our own universe that we are experiencing. And we have signed up to forget that so that we can go on the journey of remembering that. So I just want to let you know that, like, you are that. You are the God that you are seeking to become. So I didn't do the telepathy tapes. I do know the telepathy tapes and what you're talking about. The gateway tapes are basically like Monroe's meditations, but I went through the Gateway Voyage program, which there's probably several meditations that are on there from the Gateway tapes, but it was the original program for Gateway Voyage that Robert Monroe created to explore expanded states of awareness. And I literally I'll have to go through my notebook. I literally took as many notes as possible. I have 2 notebooks. One where I was going through, like, writing everything from the program. And then the other notebook was all about, like, my experiences, the process of, like, my just, like, everything I was learning, like, from day one to, like, the end. And I'm still writing in it because I don't want to forget anything that I learned. But there's so much in there that I want to share with you guys. Like, oh my God. And I'm going to make a full video on it as well. Like, I took so many videos there as well. Today, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my experience, how I manifested it, like some of the things that happened there. And then I'm going to put together a full video of my experience. Because, wow, it was literally the most life-changing thing. And I've been having dreams of Bob Monroe every single night since. It was kind of crazy. I am obsessed with Bob Monroe and his work. I love everything about that man and everything he's done. He's so cool. And we got to fucking hang out in his house. I was literally hanging out in his living room. And they have pictures of him everywhere. I got to hang out in his cabin where he did all of his writings and recordings. And I had this night where, like, I put my hand on the wall and, like, I asked him, I, like, humbly requested that he, like, be a guide for me in this work, or at least my friend. Like, I just wanted to connect with him. And then that night, I had a dream that I was at the Monroe Institute, and which I was, but it looked different in my dream. And we all had, like, our Monroe guides assigned to us on this, like, blackboard by this waterfall. And I checked mine and it was signed Bob in his handwriting. And I took that, okay, he agreed to either guide me through this work, be my friend, whatever, don't know. Since then, I have been having dreams of him every single night, showing me things, showing me different techniques to go out of body, showing me all this like different technology. The dream I had last night was the most vivid dream I've ever had, like literally. And it was me at Bob's house, but it looked very different. And it was me, I was from the future, because everyone was like fascinated with the phone that I had. Like it didn't exist at the time. It was like so weird. And he was like showing me this technology for out of body that he developed with his hemisync, but like this thing that he laid in this capsule would like almost like vibrate in a way where it induces an out of body experience. And I don't know what the fuck, but it's almost like, I don't know if he was just giving me ideas or showing me, like, I don't know, but it's been so vivid. I've been dreaming of him like 2 to 3 times a night, and they've been so vivid. I've been seeing his face in my meditations. I don't know if it's just because I got back from the Monroe Institute or what, but like I feel even more connected to him now. I love his work. He is such an amazing individual. Like the work he's done is so incredible. Like I could talk about it forever. He does so much more than just help people access expanded states of awareness. He had this like I don't know if it was like a team or a program before that was called like the Explorers, and he would help people access altered states, and he would help souls that were like confused on the other side transcend from Earth. Like they're recorded on YouTube. Oh my gosh, you'll have to listen to the Patrick one. It was this like spirit named Patrick that I don't think he knew that he died. And like I really do believe that Robert Monroe was like an earth angel. Like he did so much incredible, amazing work. And in my dream I really got to feel his energy. Like he is so loving and curious and passionate and hardworking, and like he was like obsessed with this work, and everyone loved it. Was the most beautiful dream ever, and it was so vivid. I can't even describe how it made me feel. I love Bob Monroe, okay? And I always have, and I've always been connected to him, but after this experience, especially because I don't know if you guys remember, months ago I had my first dream of Bob Monroe, and he was sitting down with a clipboard listening to me, and I was telling him about my experiences with astral projection and where I've been stuck with out of body experiences, and how I want to use this to help my audience and like help the world expand their minds. And he literally said that he was gonna take me under his wing, and all I had to do was fly to Detroit with him or whatever. And I was like, there's no connection to Monroe and Detroit from what I understand. I tried to look into it, but he literally said, I'm going to help you in this process of exploring expanded states. And then weird enough, a couple days later, I get invited to the Gateway Voyage program. And then since then, I'm having all these weird dreams of Bob Monroe and like being shown this technology and being it's so weird. I'm not making anything out of it. I'm not saying he's like coming to visit me in my dreams or anything. I'm just trying to figure out what all of this is, because it's been such a crazy shift in my consciousness and my dream state. Like, it's so cool. Yes, I definitely have to share. Okay. I think it's pretty good. In what way? What do you mean? That way I know kind of more how to answer that question. Okay, we're about to do, by the way, the meditation, the breath work. So if you feel called to bring the energy of your desires into physical manifestation, put them in the chat of one thing that you're creating or manifesting or bringing in. Absolutely synchronicity. It's been fucking crazy. And I did promise him when I was there, I said, thank you, Bob. Like I was sitting in his cabin, like just looking at all this stuff. And I was like, thank you, Bob, for your work. Thank you for everything that you've done. Like, I promise to do this work justice. I promise to keep learning. I promise to keep sharing what I'm learning. I promise to act with integrity with this work. I promise to keep doing my best with this work. Like, because his work really revolves around what we do on this channel and have done for a long time. And I just found so many ways, new ways that we could use these states. And my mind just like really expanded going to Monroe, and I just made that declaration, like, I promise to always continue doing my best in this work. And I really feel like on some way, maybe it's just the energy of what he's done, but I feel connected to and guided in this work. And since then, just the dreams I've had have just been like so heart expanding. I don't know how to describe it. Who do working memory? Okay, yeah. I mean, I would say that I do, maybe, in a sense, because like I work with my memory a lot in waking state and dream state, and I do have a lot of different dream environments that reoccur. So if how you worded it helps me understand what you meant, I like to think that I do. But, you know, I think there's always ways that we can increase that skill. I don't think there's any limits to any of these things either. Like, that's one thing I learned from Monroe is like, we put so many limitations on ourselves and what's possible that if we just decided to remove them, we'd experience the instant manifestation of that. Like, in some ways, like, I was choosing to still feel stuck in my work, or like certain things were hard and all of that. As soon as I decided, because of everything I was learning there, I just decided, you know, I'm just going to drop that belief now. And then instantly things started changing. It's just so cool. Like, so yeah, I believe there's just infinite capabilities of what we could experience if it comes to our memory, our intuitive skills, like our ability to like heal ourselves. Like, I feel really unstoppable now because we all are. I got to sit for a week in that energy of like, we can create and do anything always. And it was just really cool to anchor that in. Okay, my specific person. Okay, great. Again, put any intentions for yourself or the collective into the chat. And then I'm going to walk you guys through some breath work. I'm going to do a little breathing exercise too that I learned at Monroe with you guys. And then I'm going to guide you through a little visualization. For this visualization, have one desire in your mind that's clear. One thing that you want to experience in the now. It could be the perfect relationship. It could be making more money. It could be having more success in your business. It could be whatever. Okay, cool, Tiffany. No worries. Thanks for joining. Think of at least one desire or manifestation that you are choosing to call in during this time. And we're going to merge with it. We're going to embody it. We're going to anchor it in the now. Because again, your brain just wants to know what it feels like to have that thing. So if you can start to assume that identity, even in your meditations of like stepping into that version of yourself and feeling as if it already happened, like tapping into what you'd be thinking, feeling where you would be, what you would see. Like, again, your brain doesn't know the difference between something you're dreaming about, something you're imagining, is something that's actually happening. And so you want to bridge the gap for your brain so it knows what it feels like to be that person, and then shit just starts to happen on its own once your brain knows what it feels like to be that person. And then you can start to just anchor that in more and more every day. Contact with spirits. Okay, let's go. That's a really good one. Okay, I am going to start the music. And I want you guys to let me know if it's too loud. You want to make sure that you could hear my voice a little bit. And let me know if I need to turn it up as well. This is the ambient music track that I made, infused with 888 hertz. Designed to expand your consciousness, elevate your vibration, help you connect to the version of you that you desire to be in the now. Not too loud. Perfect. Is it loud enough? Is my voice too loud? Okay, let's do a little louder. I also don't know if you'll hear this sound bowl on the other side, depending on my mic, but I'm just going to reset the energy for this meditation. Good question, and this track actually comes out tonight. There will be a black screen version released at 6 p.m. PST, and then I will also have a full visual version where it does not go black screen as a live stream playing throughout the night into tomorrow. Ooh, okay, I'm glad it worked. So there will be 2 versions of this track out tonight, depending on if you're using it for sleep and need the black screen, or if you want to have the portal imagery. Okay, my friends, I'm going to walk you through a little bit of breathwork now. Get comfortable. I recommend sitting up or reclining is definitely the easiest, or laying all the way down on your back. I'm going to walk you through some diaphragmatic breathing, which is really going to release a lot of energy. Yes, the black screen comes out every night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard. So in 2 hours from now is when the black screen version will come out. And then, depending on when I get done with this live, I'm either going to release the full visual version a couple hours before that comes out, so around once this is done, or a couple hours after the black screen. I like to split them up a couple hours apart. Alright, get comfortable. Make sure you can hear the music so you can receive the frequencies. Now this first breath we're going to take, it's going to expel any excess energy that you do not need to hold in your body anymore. We hold a lot of stagnant, stale, old oxygen in our body, which is really just pure energy. So we're going to start with an exhale, and you're going to position your mouth as if you are blowing out a candle. And you want to exhale as much air as possible until you start to feel your belly kind of contract all the way in. So exhale, hands on belly if it helps. Exhale, exhale, exhale until you cannot let any more air out. Really wring your body out of oxygen until you feel your belly is completely empty. Once that's the case, expand with the next inhale, expanding your belly like a balloon. Nice and slow. Exhale. And it will get easier and easier the more breaths you take. So you really want to activate your belly with the inhale and the exhale. Getting rid of all air on the exhale and then filling in with all brand new air on the inhale. And you'll see that you can fill your belly almost all the way with air, and then you fill your lungs up just a little bit. And then when you exhale, use your belly muscles to really push all of the air out of your belly. Right now, we're just warming up our system, activating these muscles in our belly to expand and contract with every breath that we take. Keep going, finding a nice rhythmic motion with the breaths, expanding the belly like a balloon on the inhale, contracting the belly, wringing out all air on the exhale. Allow your body to fill in with as much oxygen as possible on that inhale and wringing out all breath from the previous breath on the exhale. Now we're going to start to change the perspective of where the energy or the breath is coming from. So on the inhale now, you're going to keep breathing in the same way, but I want you to imagine that the air is coming in from the bottom of your feet. So you see and feel the energy coming in from the bottom of your feet on the exhale, expanding your belly, working its way all the way up to your head, swirling around your head and all throughout your body, encoding your body with new breath, new light, new energy. And on the exhale, it goes back out the feet. Inhaling again, allowing that breath to come in through the bottoms of your feet, up throughout your entire body, swirling around your head, moving its way through your arms, your chest, your belly, and down through your legs, out your feet on the exhale once again. Now I want you to start to think of your desire as you're doing this and bring in the energy from your desire in through the bottoms of your feet. What qualities of yourself do you have in that reality? It could be confidence, it could be love, it could be energy, it could be playfulness. Whatever it is, breathe that in through your feet on the inhale, allowing that to swirl in your mind, leaving this beautiful white golden light through your body, and exhaling all things that you're releasing. So as you're inhaling, all the new things you're encoding, all the qualities of yourself that you're embodying, and your exhale is everything you're releasing. It could be fear, it could be limitations, it could be lack, it could be unworthiness. And you can either keep breathing in the same things on the inhale or come up with new qualities every single breath, a few new things that you're inviting into your system. And on the exhale, naming the things that you're ready to release and seeing them leave out through the bottom of your feet. Keeping that rhythm with your inhale, expanding the belly, bringing that air in, bringing that energy in to the top of your head. With every breath, seeing your system glow more and more vividly, more and more brightly. And everything that leaves outside of the bottom of your feet, just seeing it dissipate and turn into pure fractals of energy that just dissolve in the air. Make sure you're still using that expansion of the belly and contraction of the belly as well. Really teaching your system to inhale and receive and exhale and let go fully with every single breath that you take. Feel the energy on the inhale just tingling throughout your entire body. Feel the activation, the vibration of this new energy you're encoding. Feel the tingling in your fingertips, the tingling on the top of your head. And just feeling yourself glowing with this bright, shimmering light. Now on the next inhale, breathe in through your feet, all the way up to the top crown of your head and hold. Hold your breath on the inhale. See all of the air swirling now around your crown, around your brain, around your head. Giving it time to really saturate your system. And exhale. If you still have things to name that you're releasing, feel free to do that, or you can just affirm that everything that is ready to release is now working its way through your body, out through the bottoms of your feet, leaving your system completely. There's nothing else you need to do. Once you breathe them out through your feet, they are gone. Same with what you're bringing into your body. It is now encoded. Everything that is connected to this desire, this new version of you, is instantly being inhaled and encoded into your body. There's nothing more that you need to do to receive it. Just knowing that this gets to be your new state now. On the exhale, or on the inhale, let's bring in that new energy again to the top of the head and hold on the inhale, allowing that energy to swirl around within your crown, within your head. Feeling the power of holding your breath on that inhale. And exhale, getting rid of any last bit of energy that is not for you. This is a new timeline for you. This is a new way of being. You are here for a reason, and you are ready to release the old version of you that no longer serves you. Everything you've gone through served a purpose. All your limitations served a purpose at one point or another. Show gratitude to this new version of yourself coming in on the inhale and what's leaving on the exhale. Thank it for its service. Thank it for its help. And allow it to be totally released with gratitude. Now we're going to do something a little bit interesting. I still want you to bring that air in through the bottoms of your feet, but now that you've released everything that no longer serves you, this is just pure energy, pure protection. Inhale through the bottoms of your feet. See it swirling in the heart center, and on the exhale, it's actually going to go out the top of your head like a fountain. And see it falling all around you, this energy, this breath. And then on the inhale again, it's almost being magnetized from coming out the top of your head back into your feet. So it's almost creating a bubble around you. You're bringing in this energy, this light, this protection through your feet. And on the exhale, it's shooting out the top of your head like a waterfall, falling down around you. And then your inhale acts as a magnet to pull it back in from the bottoms of your feet. Exhaling from the top of your head, and now you're just surrounded in this bubble of energy. Inhaling from the bottoms of your feet, swirls in the center of your heart, and shoots out the top of your crown on the exhale. Coming back down to the bottoms of your feet, creating this infinite orb, this infinite bubble, this energetic balloon that's surrounding your entire field. Know that this is your protective field to protect this new energy that you're encoding, to prevent any limitations and unwanted energy that is no longer yours from reaching your energy field. This bubble will act as protection from people that no longer serve you, energy, emotions that are not yours, and even keep you protected from physical situations and circumstances in the physical world. You are safe, you are protected, you are loved, you are seen, you are heard, you are held. And life gets to be easy for you now. Life gets to be beautiful for you now. Now that you've released what no longer serves you, now that you're bathing in everything that you're bringing into yourself, still work with your breath, but start to soften your breath in a way that feels comfortable, and still see that every exhale is strengthening that bubble around you. The exhale is pushing that bubble even bigger all the way around you, strengthening your energy field, protecting what's yours, reflecting what is no longer yours on the outside. And now that you're in your bubble, I want you to think of that desire. That one thing that you're calling into the now. That one thing that lights you up, that brings you so much joy that you know that you're meant to experience. This is your path. This is your purpose. This is meant for you. Big or small, doesn't matter. If you desire it, it's meant to be worked through you. It's meant to come in. I want you to zoom your awareness up above your body. As you're just breathing comfortably, relaxing now, you have your safe bubble. I want you to bring your awareness up above your body so you can see your body sitting or laying wherever you're laying. Zoom your awareness up a little bit higher above your house or wherever you're listening to this so you can see down below. Zoom out a little bit more above the clouds. Keep going, keep going. A little bit farther so you can see the curvature of the earth. You're going straight up like a balloon. A little bit farther, until now you're looking at Earth from a higher perspective. Now I want you to see a timeline appear, literally a linear timeline, just a line that's of your life. From when you were born, all the way up till now, and further on your timeline. And I want you to instinctively go to the time where this desire has manifested. You don't have to know when, you don't have to know what age, just think of your desire and start to drop down into that timeline back onto Earth, straight down, and see where it takes you. Where is this desire happening? What place on the earth is this desire coming true? I want you to drop straight down with that timeline in mind. Back down to earth. And you may notice that you're in a different place than when you started this. Just notice your surroundings and drop down until you can see above you. And I want you to notice how this timeline looks different than where you were before. How is your energy different now that you have this desire? Again, this desire could be a week from now, a month from now, a couple years from now. It doesn't even matter. You're observing this desire from a higher perspective above your body where you can see it all unfolding. What does the environment look like? Are you outside? Are you in a house? What are you wearing? Is there anybody around you in this experience, this moment of time? Again, this is already after you've achieved this desire. Notice what emotions you're feeling, or what do you see that you're experiencing emotionally. Again, you're still looking at this from a slightly higher perspective, just looking down at your physical body, observing the environment, and all the changes that happened from this desire coming true. What are the details that you did not expect to see in this reality? This could be with your environment, how you look, how you're behaving, who's in this environment with you. And if there's anything that you don't see right now that you want to be added to this timeline, go ahead and add it in right now. Almost like you just get to place objects or things wherever you want in this reality. Maybe you see yourself in a house. Maybe you want to add some details to the house. Maybe you want to change the environment a little bit on the outside. Maybe you want to change any aspect of what you're seeing. Add things into the timeline now. I'll give you a couple minutes to do this. If all timelines and outcomes exist, which they do, you can choose which desires, which things you want to blend into this reality. You get to design your life. And it all starts with clarity in the details, big or small. The universe is always just waiting for you to decide which details you want. Whatever lights you up, you are meant to experience. Now take a look around again and see the environment that you are experiencing in this reality you desire. The weather, what car's in the driveway, where you are at specifically, how it feels to be there, the details of your home. It could be anything at all. And when you're ready, now that you're looking above your body, watching, I want you now to drop into this version of yourself, in through the top of your head, and settle into this body in this timeline. You are now experiencing this timeline you've created through the eyes of this version of yourself who has achieved the thing that you desire, with any details that you've added in your physical environment. I want you to notice how it feels emotionally to be in this version of you. How do you feel physically? Maybe you feel so much lighter. Maybe there's so much more ease. What emotions do you notice that this version of yourself has? They're living the exact life that you created for them. The desires that you know are meant to be fulfilled, they're experiencing. And the reason you know that they're meant to be fulfilled is because you already knew that this timeline was playing out, and now you get to see it. You're literally peeking behind the veil into what's going on in this reality, in the now. And now you get to experience it from that version of you's eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel in your body. Perhaps what thoughts this version of you is thinking. I'll give you a moment just to be in this body, in this mind, in this reality. And you can sit still in this body, or you can use this body to walk around and explore your environment and tap into what beliefs they have, what feelings you notice are happening, what thoughts. Just gather information on what's going on in this new reality that you're stepping into. What thoughts did this version of you think to get here? Now that you've achieved what you want, what beliefs does this version of yourself have about themselves and the world? Now that you've achieved what you want, what are the 3 biggest emotions you notice in this version of you? Now that you've achieved what you desired in this reality, what is this version of you thinking about next? What big goals do they have? When you're ready, I want you to repeat, either out loud or in your mind, I choose this timeline now. I choose this reality now. I choose this version now. Now, in this reality, go ahead and sit down if you're not already sitting. Put yourself in the position that you started this meditation in. So if you started this meditation laying down, go ahead and lay down in this reality. If you started this meditation sitting down, go ahead and sit down in this reality that you're in. You've now collapsed time and are stepping into this version of yourself energetically. You now have a map for what this version of you thinks, feels, does on a daily basis, believes. And because you've collapsed time and you're merging with yourself in this reality, you're going to notice over time, you are starting to merge with this version of yourself in your thoughts and your feelings and your behaviors. This version will now be working through you in all that you do, and you will start to see the aspects of this reality start to appear in your physical reality. There is no time and space. Now that you have merged with this version of yourself in this reality, the physical world has to match that. It must. That's the law. That's universal law. Assume this version of yourself in the now. Behave, think, and feel as if this is the version of you living inside of you that's creating your decisions, your thoughts, your actions, because you've now merged into this reality now. Go ahead and just show gratitude for this version of yourself. You could say thank you. You can hug yourself in this reality. Knowing not only that this reality has existed the whole time, but now you get to experience life through this version of you's eyes and watch that merging process between this reality and the physical. How beautiful that life gets to be this way. You've done the work. It's now your time to receive and experience all that you've ever dreamed. Take a deep breath in through your nose, locking this energy in, feeling the emergence of this version of you and the physical you, swirling and merging and encoding together on that inhale and exhaling, solidifying that change in place. And when you're ready, we're going to stay in that reality now because we've collapsed time to meet ourselves there. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers in the physical realm. Start to come back to the space in which you're sitting in the physical. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Now, as you're coming back, I would like to tell you that timeline shifting can be as easy as that. It's all about clarity on where you're going and who that version of you is. And if everything is energy and consciousness, then if we merge in energy and consciousness to this new version of ourselves, since the physical reality is the results plane, that's where you're going to start to see the results of doing this energetic and mental work. The version of you that you desire is always present, is always reachable in consciousness. And now that you've encoded this new version of you, now that you know the life that that version of you is living, and you've welcomed that into your system now, operate from that place, that emergence, where the decisions you make from this point on, the feelings you allow yourself to feel, the beliefs that you allow yourself to believe are in alignment with that reality. That's going to help this merging process happen so much faster in the physical realm. You've already done the energetics of it. Now allow yourself to operate from that place in the physical. You're going to notice your manifestations increase in speed, in momentum, in synchronicity by doing this. This is the only work you need to do. So if an opportunity comes in that you would have said no to before because of fear, but you know that this version of yourself would say yes, your job is to say yes. And it's 4:44 on the clock right now as I'm looking at it. So in all your decisions and all you do, ask yourself, what would this version of me do? And if it's a specific quality that you're stepping into, you can even give them a name. For example, when I was manifesting moving to Washington, I referred to that version of myself as Washington Haylee. And in every situation, I would say, what would Washington Haylee do in this situation? What would Washington Haylee believe in this situation? And it helped me act so much more consciously and in alignment with that version of myself that I started to experience the shift so quickly. And it made me magnetized to that reality because I was embodying all the energetic qualities of that reality. So the physical realm had to change, had to shift to match my new energetic frequency. And maybe later you get more ideas of the qualities that that version of you has. Write it down. Have a whole notebook for this version of yourself. Write down all of the qualities that you can think of, especially from present tense. I now believe this. I know, and we've been live for 2 hours, 22 minutes. Look at all this. This is what I mean also, is as soon as you start to merge with your desires and consciousness, you start to see little magical signs on the outside that true change was made. And you might see that in multiple ways in your life. But use this version of yourself as a guidepost for how to show up in this physical realm. And you're going to experience such momentum in seeing it form in the physical. Now I invite you to just ponder on this question now that you've experienced the embodiment of that version of you. What would the version of me I just met do in the next 24 hours? Now it doesn't have to be anything crazy. It could be that you danced because now you are merged with that version of yourself. It could be that you said yes to that experience that you have been delaying answering. It could be that you eat a high frequency meal that version of you would be eating. do one small action to show your brain that yes, there was a change, there was a shift that was made. It could be anything, it could be the smallest thing. But just doing that one small thing is enough to anchor in that change in physical reality. It's the proof that your brain has that there was a change made, even if it's a very small change. Now, as we're wrapping up this meditation, and before I get into a little bit of the Monroe story, just put your hand on your heart and receive this. I allow this new shift to settle into my cells. I trust that what is for me will now and always find me in perfect timing and perfect order. I am willing and ready to become the version of me I met tonight. I now allow all things in my life to move and to shift to match this new identity. And so it is. Oh, I love it, Tiffany. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Monroe Institute before we wrap up. Oh my goodness, Ascensions with Ashley. Thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Much love. Thank you so much again. So, I told you guys the Monroe Institute. I just got back from the Monroe Institute. This has been a dream of mine forever. I have followed Bob Monroe's work for a very long time. He created the Monroe Institute because he started having spontaneous out-of-body experiences, like in the 50s. And he didn't know what was happening to him. He thought that he was either dying or he was going crazy. And once he confirmed that he wasn't dying and he doesn't think he's going crazy, he started to learn to work with it and to induce these states at will, which started the entire journey into creating the Monroe Institute, which he was going to further use to study the exploration of altered states and teach other people how to do it. He was very straightforward, kind of scientific person. He didn't add any, spiritual beliefs to what was happening or anything. He started in a very structured, analytical way to kind of study the exact effects and the exact experiences that were happening. And that's what his whole first book is based on, is Journeys Out of the Body, where it's basically like a big diary of his experiences. And he went on to explore many different planes of reality and use them to help many people, many types of people with many different things. And he's a legend in this work. And I've looked up to the Monroe Institute for a very, very long time. And I decided that I really wanted to work with the Monroe Institute in some way. Like, it meant so much to me to, like, their work. I fucking love the Monroe Institute. And so I decided not too long ago, I'll have to pull up the date. It was literally like a month ago. I was going to write a fake letter to myself, basically a fake email, inviting myself to the Creator Gateway Voyage, which the Creator Gateway, it's basically the Gateway Voyage program for online creators, and you have to be invited to that one. And they usually don't allow like cameras and filming a lot. But for the Creator Gateway, it's kind of like the whole thing. Like, you share with your audience your experience, and you know, it helps also expose more people to it. And so I was watching a lot of videos on the Creator Gateway Voyage, and you know, like lots of people's experiences, and I just knew that this is something that I wanted to do. And so I wrote myself an email, and I also looked up, like, apparently they didn't have a Creator Gateway Voyage until like 2028. And so I didn't really expect for it to come in, but I just wanted to start to merge with the idea that I could be on the Gateway Voyage program. And so I wrote myself this letter designed to look like it was from the Monroe Institute inviting me. And I read it over and over and over, and I just kept saying, I receive this, I receive this, I receive this. And I assumed the identity of the version of me that was in that reality. And I allowed myself to feel excited. I looked in the mirror and I told myself, I'm going to Creator Gateway. Oh my God, I'm going to Creator Gateway Voyage. Like, I can't believe this. Like, I started to imagine me there and like meeting other people. And I just read that letter. I read that email like multiple times a day for the next few days. And I just felt the energy of it because it was like, it looked like a very official email. And just seeing it in my inbox, like an invitation to Creator Gateway Voyage at the Monroe Institute, I was like, oh my God, like I could just feel the energy of it. And so I read it every day. And then I just started to feel this super strong feeling, kind of like the feeling I felt when I was about to move to Washington. It's like, the best way I can describe it is like when it's about to be summer break in school, like, you know, it's coming, like you can feel it, you can feel the excitement of it, you know, it's going to happen. That's how I felt when I was moving to Washington, like before it happened. Like, I just felt like it was happening, and then it happened so much faster than I ever thought it could, in like a weird ass way. It gave me that same feeling. And so I was like, oh my God, I even told Chance, I was like, this is the same feeling that I got right before we moved to Washington. Like, and I even told him, I was like, I better be careful thinking about Creator Gateway Voyage too much, or else I'm going to manifest it quicker than I could like receive it. Like, I wanted to go, but I was also kind of nervous because it was so outside of my comfort zone. I've never been to like any sort of retreat like that or anything. But I told him, I was like, I feel like if I think about this too much, it's gonna happen. And we were already talking, like, we know, like, my whole work is based on similar things that Robert Monroe teaches. It's so connected to my work and what I love and my passion, my purpose, and what I feel I'm here to share with the world and teach the world. And so I like knew on some level that I'm supposed to be associated with the Monroe Institute in some way. 9 days later, after emailing myself the email, I got a text from the director of marketing from the Monroe Institute. And she said, hey, I know this is super last minute, but there's a Creator Gateway Voyage in 2 days in Virginia. And we just had an unexpected spot open up. Would you be interested in coming? Now, again, I didn't think there was a Creator Voyage. Like, I literally looked it up. It said like it was like 2028 or something. I don't even know if that's true. Like, I couldn't find any info on a recent Creator Gateway Voyage. Like, her and I were connected for a couple weeks before that because I signed up for their like affiliate program, and I wanted to collaborate with someone from their Monroe Sound Science team in my like meditations and stuff. And so that's how she had my number. And she reached out and she literally said, like, we have an unexpected opening for the Creator Voyage in 2 days. So I knew that this was connected to the version of myself that has went, obviously, to the Creator Gateway Voyage. I knew that I had to say yes to this, even if I had to figure out the details. I say yes. I figure out flights. I literally, yeah, I was in Faber, Virginia. I'm not sure where you live in Virginia, but it was in Faber, Virginia is where I where I flew. That's so funny. I didn't know you're in Virginia. Um and that's all the way on the other side of the US. I'm on the West Coast. That was on the East Coast. I've never even flown that far myself before. Uh and in 2 days, I had to figure out flights. I had to book that. And I think the universe also did it in this short amount of time. So like I didn't have time to like overthink it or like stress about it. It was like, okay, you gotta like say yes, you gotta decide, and then you gotta go. So I did. I knew that even though it was so scary for me, like super far outside of my comfort zone, I was meant to do it. Like it was totally connected to the version of myself that I desire to be. And that's what I mean by like making all decisions from that version of yourself in the now. That's how you merge with the life you desire to live, is not by like forcing yourself to try to get that thing, but being the person who has that thing in all decisions, in all ways you can. And so I said yes, and it was so far out of my comfort zone. Also, again, it was a creator voyage. So like everyone there was like online creators, they were teachers. Some people were like way fucking successful in the things they're doing. A lot of people were there, like most people, like everyone was amazing. Like every single person was so amazing what they did. And I was like, it took me a second to settle into the energy because I was not used to being around such like there were so many brilliant people in one room. It was like kind of overwhelming energetically at first. And a lot of people knew each other because they've like collabed before and done stuff. And so I kind of felt like I was just out by myself for a second. Like I knew I was supposed to be there, but with the group of people I was in, it took me a second to feel like I belonged there. And that was one of the big lessons I had to overcome when I was there, is like working on my sense of belonging. Like I believe we have to train ourselves to know that we are worthy of every single room we desire to be in. And that was one of my biggest lessons, is like allowing myself to know that I deserved to be there and that the universe brought me there, and that was the start to working with Monroe in a way. Like I'm very connected to Monroe's work. I would love to be a trainer one day for Monroe. It's on that level. Like I really, 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 really love the work that Monroe does. And so just being on that land, being in the presence of those amazing people, some of the people I've followed online before, so it was like very, what the fuck, to see them there. My roommate was amazing. I have followed her online for a little bit, and so that was kind of shocking to see her there. So like there's several people that you guys have probably follow online too, like, and so there was this aspect of me that was like so excited, but also like, holy shit, like this is crazy. And the first couple days were a little bit hard for me just because like people were connecting and people were talking, and it felt like I was like in a world of extroverts, and like I didn't know how to like ground myself in the energy. I spent a lot of time alone those first couple days, like just outside, like journaling, just trying to be like, holy shit, I'm here. Like what, like it took me a second to like adjust. And every single situation there was like designed to like put me out of my comfort zone and allow me to like be seen and like use my voice and be heard. And like there was just a lot of parts of myself that I was confronted with that were kind of full of fear in a way. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Tiffany. I was like, what the hell is going on? And every day continued to get better, and I continued to have intense insights. But the first couple of days, I had to like learn massive self-acceptance. Like, I'm meant to be here with these people. This speaks a lot to like the work I've been doing energetically and like where I'm meant to go and what I'm meant to do. Like, I had to really settle in with like, I didn't just bring myself here. I was brought here, you know, by some force. And I received so much more than I thought. Like, I did have a little out of body experience the first day with like one of the first meditations, which was really crazy. I remember meditating and just seeing the brightest, vivid colors I've ever seen, and then feeling like my arm was kind of like propped up weird in meditation, which is a sign that your energy body's like disconnected a little bit from your physical, and you can use that to like get out of your body. And I remember like rolling out in my head, and I remember rolling out of our check unit, which is what they're called, where you do your meditations. It's basically like a place that deprives all your senses, so you're just in this blackout place to meditate. And I remember rolling out in my meditation, and that it was all cleared up, and I was like in my room that I was staying in, and then something snapped me back to my body. Oh yeah, it was like I kept twitching, like my physical body was twitching, and that kind of snapped me back in. So I had like an OBE type experience the first day, and then the rest of the time it was like deep, like emotional healing work, which is probably why my system was like, okay, we're gonna give you a small out of body experience the first day. That way you're not like holding on to that the whole time and making that the expectation. Like, I had it the first day, and then I was kind of able to release that expectation after that. And, you know, I had this like I'm a very expressive person. I'm very extroverted when I'm around the right people, but there's been this like habit that I've learned throughout my life to like shrink a little bit and to like stay a little bit more quiet. And it's like I almost learned to become an introvert. And in one of the meditations, it was like this space of no time or whatever. I decided to go back and look at this pattern of like, okay, where did I learn that it was like hard to be seen or like heard, or that it's safer to do that? And I was shown my childhood in a way, which makes sense because, you know, my older brother was the only child for a while. And then I was born 6 years later. And I truly believe that he resented me for being born because, you know, it was like he was no longer the only child. And I felt like there was just this disconnect between him and I. And, you know, not going to get into the details, but my relationship and childhood with him wasn't the easiest thing at all. And I think from those experiences, I learned that it's, you know, maybe easier and safer to be a little bit more quiet and keep to myself, you know. And then I got this little image of what appeared to be a past life, but me climbing up this rocky cliff. And that's all I got. That's all I got from the meditation. And I was talking to my roommate, and she was like, you should lean into that a little bit more. The next meditation, you should explore that past life a little bit more and expand it, because I've never really done a lot of past life work. I didn't really know what to do once I got that visual. So I went in one of the next meditations and I focused on that visual that I got of like me climbing this rocky cliff. And I was like, show me how this relates to the wound or the discomfort of like fully being witnessed and seen and heard. And then I see this ship appear in my mind. It looked like a pirate ship in a way. And I was like, interesting. Okay, show me how this relates to that. And I just kept following the thread back. Eventually, this whole thing unravels where it sounds far out, but like it totally came in as like just like dropped in. I was a pirate and I had a pirate crew, and we were at some island with our ship, and everybody wanted to leave the island and like one of these days. And I felt that it was very wrong to do that. Like, I don't know if there was going to be a big storm. I don't know if we were going to crash the ship into something. I don't really know, but I had this feeling that we should not leave the island that day. And I made it very, very clear, and they were all really resistant to it. And I kept like, you know, saying like, no, I really believe like we shouldn't go anywhere. Like, we have to stay here for the night. And they said, well, one of them said, you can either get off the ship or we'll kill you and throw you off the ship. So I got off the ship, okay? And I was left at this island, basically to die. And I remember them leaving on the ship, and I crawled to the top of this rocky cliff on the island to get a better view of the horizon to potentially be saved by another ship or whoever I could see. I like got up to high ground to potentially look for help. And I think that's where I passed away. I think literally I died of starvation or something. And I thought that was really interesting because I've never done a lot of past life work, like I said. But that came through so clearly, and it totally connected to like, oh, me speaking up got me killed, basically. Like, I was abandoned and left on that island. And I thought that was really interesting. And I was like, okay, cool. And I told one of the trainers about it, and he thought it was really interesting too. I told him at like lunch or whatever. And I love how it also connected to the exact same experience as a child and growing up. It was like the same thread. And so I had this reoccurring thread that it might be a little safer to be a little bit more quiet or in the background. And so being at this creator gateway voyage was really confronting that, like, no, it's not time to be in the background anymore. It's time to be seen. It's time to be heard. It's time to use your voice. It's time to know that you belong in these spaces with these people that you look up to. And so the whole theme of the trip was basically that. And it was really, really fucking interesting. And so that was, yeah. So that was one of the first catalysts to the unfolding of one of my healings at the Monroe. Like, I journaled a lot about the childhood thing, totally made sense, did a lot of work around it, looked into that past life thing, was super interesting, totally made sense. And then after that, I started to notice myself like open up a little bit more and be more comfortable, like talking to people and like putting myself in these, like slowly, it's almost like my system was starting to change as I started to see how things were connected. And yeah, I remember doing this one emotional healing meditation, which was super fucking awesome. Like, you're not supposed to name what the things are, but it's like you basically have this chest of all of your limitations in this chest, and one by one, we did like 5 of them. You just take it out of the box and you hold it in your hand and you kind of release it and allow it to disappear. And you're not supposed to really try to name what these limitations are you're releasing, like just let them go. And then they've said really crazy, like the trainers were telling us really crazy stories where, you know, people would let these things go and not even know what they were, and they would experience different physical healings and all of these things that were attached to these like mysterious limitations they let go. And so I made sure not to name them or try to figure out what they were, but I remember when I was pulling out these limitations out of the box, I did one by one. They were like orbs in a sense, but they were like all deformed and had like different ones added onto it. So it was almost like when I picked out the limitation, it started with this limitation, but there was other limitations attached to it, and it like created this whole thing, and it just felt super gross to hold. And I remember with each one I pulled out, I would feel a part of my body like vibrating or like in pain. And I thought that was really weird. And then as soon as I let it go and release it, I would get a flash of who I was without that limitation. Like, I'd get a flash of me like dancing freely outside in the grass, or like filming a video somewhere and not even caring who's watching, like all just these random little clips of me on the other side of whatever that limitation was that I released. And I did 5 of them, and I remember after, I could breathe so much easier. I felt so clear, I felt so light, I felt so good. And again, I didn't even know what I released, but it was whatever my system was ready to release at the time. That's why you're not supposed to name them, because like your system, your subconscious knows like what's limiting you and what's ready to be shifted. And so we had so many of these different meditations where we explored different timelines, where we explored different healings, where we tapped into other realities. You know, I was able to see future timelines, past timelines. We practiced remote viewing. I actually was able to confirm with Chance the shirt he was wearing and what room he was in when I was doing this remote viewing meditation. He confirmed that it was correct. So I was like, oh shit, like that's kind of cool. Like, and so, you know, I want to work with that a little bit more. But we explored so many different aspects of our potential And I had so much releasing when I was there. It was like a very healing experience for me. And I ended the experience feeling super close to everybody. Everybody is super kind, really magical, really cool. And I truly feel like I left there changed in many ways. And I think it's just the start to my journey with Monroe. Like, it just feels like the start in some way. I'm so grateful that I was able to go there. Again, this is a dream of a lifetime. I fucking love everything that's done at Monroe. Like, truly, so deeply. And I didn't know that going there would be such a catalyst to my healing and stepping into a new version of myself. And by the way, since I've been there, like, there's been so much more flow in my life. Like even when I was out there, one of my videos on this channel is taking off a bit, and people on Instagram were reaching out to me that I looked up to, and like my health, like, you know how I had those issues with like my like a knee injury a while ago, that started to clear up when I was there, and like things started to just feel, it's literally like I was encoded with a new state of being when I was there. And I just felt so much more connected to myself, and like had tons of streams of ideas of videos I should be making. And I met with my future self in one of the meditations, and it told me exactly like what to focus on, what to stop doing, this and this. I was like, the whole time I was there, I was like trying to write like a maniac, like write, because there was just so much coming in. I still have stuff to write. I still have my journals back there that I'm like trying to write in, because so much is coming through. And that's just to tell you, like, that when you're working on manifesting something or bringing something in, there's going to be shadows of yourself that are ready to come out and be released. And working with your shadow is directly connected to embodying your light, because on the other side of your shadow is the version of you that you desire to be. That shadow is just like where you learn to hide that thing from the world, if that makes sense. And so there was times there where, especially the first couple of days, I'd feel so like out of my comfort zone. I'd feel that little pit in my stomach, like that part of me would be telling me, oh, just go sit outside, go do this and this. And I would be constantly confronting that, putting myself out there, talking to new people, like getting in conversations I've never had before. Like, I was constantly like, no, this new version of me is going to act like this now. And I just walked with that feeling because it was encoded in my body, and having that new experience, saying yes to it, allowed that old encoding to kind of release, if that makes sense. And I started to experience this gradual change over that week, where it became easier and easier and easier to act from that new version of myself. And it was just so cool. Again, I learned so much from that. And again, I feel very expressive and myself online, but I'm not used to being around such a big group of amazing people and other like content creators and stuff. It was definitely like an expanding experience. And I'm so grateful that I did it, even though it was so scary when they actually texted me like, hey, you want to go to the Monroe Institute? We have an opening come up. It's like exactly what I was manifesting, but then when it came in, my body almost didn't know how to receive it. And so that's the thing to say also, is like, if it's brought to you, you're ready. You might feel fear, you might feel discomfort, you might feel expanded doing something, but walk with that and remind yourself that this is the version you are dedicated to becoming now. And as you walk into that discomfort, your comfort zone expands. You start to expand who you are. You start to expand what you believe is possible. You start to expand your consciousness, your awareness. And then you start to just feel comfortable in what once was a very uncomfortable thought, to put yourself out there. So whether you want to sing, whether you want to dance, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to write poetry, whether you want to travel by yourself, whether you want to connect to other like-minded souls around the world, like, know that you have that desire for a reason, because you're meant to do it. And part of the learning process on earth is teaching your human to step into that. Like, you are going to feel resistance when you're fighting against a program you've always been living throughout your entire life. But that's how change happens, is you walk with that feeling and you don't let that feeling or that thought stop you from doing what you know that you're meant to do. Because as soon as you show your brain that there's nothing dangerous on the other side, it expands itself to realize what else is possible, how good it could actually get, what you could actually experience now that you've learned it's just a feeling. It doesn't mean anything when you feel uncomfortable. It's just a temporary feeling. And the feeling that you get on the other side of that is so much more rewarding than staying in your comfort zone. So especially as we did this meditation for stepping into this new version of yourself, like, remember that there's going to be periods where you have to remind yourself, okay, what would this version of me that I'm becoming, what would, how I named Washington Haylee, the version of me that lives in Washington, like, whatever the equivalent is for you, for your thing you're manifesting, or the version of you you're stepping into, what would that version of me do in this situation? How would they respond? And you just practice responding more and more through that version of yourself. And that's how you shift your reality. That's how you make that shift. So it may seem like a gradual process because it happens through your choices and your thoughts and your feelings and your way of being. But once you start doing that, things start dropping in that are connected to that reality. That's literally how you merge realities, is thinking, feeling, and behaving in alignment with the version of you who already has what you want. So I basically had to say, okay, what would Monroe Haylee do in this situation? How would Monroe Haylee respond? The version of me who's already been to the Monroe Institute a million times. I had to become her to know how to navigate specific situations. And now that I've been to Monroe, which is crazy to say, now that I've been to the Monroe Institute, I can now study that version of myself in future situations, future collaborations, future choices that require me to expand beyond what I'm used to. I've been getting spirits helping me in meditation. I can see them and see it through in colors flow across my eyes, close. Oh, wow. See, that's so amazing. And the more you practice that, the stronger it gets. And that's one thing. I was like meditating for like 6 or 7 hours a day at the Monroe Institute, and my intuitive abilities felt so alive. It was so easy to sit so long in meditation. And so I want to keep that up as well. I meditate a lot anyway, but it was so nice to meditate like half the day there, and I was getting so many insights, and it just felt so good that I'm definitely going to keep doing that and working with everything that I learned there, because yeah, it was so amazing. Again, a lot of the stuff we talked about I knew about because I was already in like the Gateway Voyage online course. Not very far into it, but there's a million things there that I learned that I didn't even expect to learn. And so yeah, it was a beautiful combination of like having awareness of what I was learning and then like expanding beyond what I thought was possible and what we were learning. So yeah, it was really cool. Just know that you can literally create anything. You just have to decide, just like I did with the letter to Monroe. Like, again, this was like my highest manifestation. I've wanted to go to the Monroe Institute for literally ever. And as soon as I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to start stepping into the reality now. I'm literally just going to write myself a letter, read it, and know that I'm the person who has done it. Like, I'm just going to receive it in my body and feel excited for it. And then 9 days later, it came in. So that shows you, like, as soon as you just fucking decide that you're going to become that version of yourself, it's like, okay, finally, we can now bring it to you because you're now assuming the identity that's in alignment with that reality. It's like, that's what allows it to come in. So just know that you're amazing. You guys can create anything that you want. Don't focus on the thing you're trying to manifest. Focus on the version of you that has it. And I promise you're going to experience so much flow, so much momentum, so much ease in experiencing that reality and who you are in that reality. It's all a game. It's all about what version of being you're assuming. That's the entire game. So yeah, don't focus on the external thing. Focus on the aftermath, the version of you who's already created it. And just ask yourself, what would this version of me do in this situation? What would this version of me believe? What would this version of me think? What would this version of me feel? And that will guide you through making all the right decisions to be in alignment with that reality, to create it with as much ease as possible. So I hope that this live has been helpful. We've been going for 3 hours. I hope that the journal prompts are helpful. Again, I'm going to post the journal prompts in the description and the comments section. That way you can get the full workbook. If you have my app, DreamLife, it's also uploaded in there. So you can just find it in the library in my app. And if you want to explore what Monroe has to offer as well, I have a 10% off discount for you, so you can either go to the Monroe Institute as well or take their online classes. They have lots to offer, and even like spoon bending classes and like remote viewing and like the coolest shit ever. So if you want to practice your Jedi mind tricks, I have 10% off for you that I'll also leave in the description and the comments. So happy Lionsgate, guys. I love you so much. I hope that you had, a good live stream experience with me. It's so good to see you guys again. I can't wait for our next lives. Make sure to connect with me in the Telegram community chat if you want to stay connected and keep the conversations going. There's a lot of us hanging out in there. And yeah, I'll drop those workbooks or that journaling worksheet so you can continue to do the work for the rest of the day. And then in 30 minutes, the 888 Hertz track that we just listened to is going to release the black screen version. And then in a couple hours after that, I'm going to release the live stream version that will go the entire night with the full visuals on. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I love you all so much. Happy Lionsgate. And as always, I'm sending you endless love.